Lovely sounds. Before all that, as the political row over the Prime Minister's deal with Europe rumbles on, a Bristol engineering firm is already feeling the impact of Brexit. It's lost all of its new European sales because of worries about customs rules.
The company says its European customers are cancelling orders to avoid complex and expensive bureaucracy, which they'll face if Britain leaves the customs union. As our business correspondent Dave Harvey has discovered, it's a problem facing hundreds of West Country firms.
Our sales dropped off by 10% very quickly. We have found that it's now impossible to develop new business in the EU.
So what's caused this company to lose European sales before Brexit's even happened? It's a new piece of Brexit jargon for us all to learn. Rules of origin.
They're hugely complex, and how they apply to precision safety valves can be baffling. So let's start with cake.
What could be more British than a Christmas cake? But if we wanted to export our cake, well, the World Trade Organization would want to know precisely how British that cake really is.
Well, what about the raisins? OK, they're from South Africa. All the spices? Yep, India. There's muscovado sugar from Mauritius. And brandy, it has to be French.
Of course, any good baker would say it's not the ingredients that really matter, it's the art of putting them together. So under the rules, you have to declare how much of the total value of the finished cake these foreign ingredients have contributed. And you know what? It's kind of the same with valves.
The Bristol safety valves are used all over the world on oil rigs and air compressors. This one is Czech, exported as an EU product. If Britain leaves the customs union, though, the British safety valve will need to be declared in minute detail. The Czech firm will need a whole new IT system to cope.
Yes, they can handle it, but these software tools cost tens or hundreds of thousands of pounds. There's no advantage for them to put in new systems just to deal with one or two products from the UK when it's just as easy for them to buy from elsewhere in the EU.
And that's what's happening already.
And absolutely, that's exactly what's happening already.
And of course, it's not just valve manufacturers that are worrying about this. Across the West Country, hundreds of firms are grappling with these new rules of origin, right up to the most international players of all.
More than 4 million parts go into an Airbus plane, made in 30 countries. Of course, the big stuff comes from France, Spain and Germany. And the wings, landing gear and engines are British, notably from Filton.
So Airbus have said they will have to do 20,000 origin declarations a year, and that's excluding their suppliers. So for smaller firms within the southwest, each of those will have to provide Airbus with an origin declaration, and many of these firms will have never done one of these before. Most of the exporters we survey have never done an origin declaration.
So is there a way out of this red tape? Well, the agreement signed by the Prime Minister today with Brussels offers a single customs territory, which is meant to solve the problem.
The text we have now agreed would create a new free trade area with the European Union, with no tariffs, fees, charges or quantitative restrictions.
But as with everything Brexit, there would be consequences.
One way of not having to do all this rules of origin paperwork is to stay in some form of customs union with the European Union. That has been put on the table. However, that makes it impossible for the UK to sign independent free trade agreements with other parts of the world, which some groups are demanding.
In Westminster, then, a customs union is now the centre of the Brexit row. In this factory, they know exactly what it means. Dave Harvey, BBC Points West in Bristol.